What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Last Week in Sports. We had a lot to go over, so let's just jump right into it. Starting with the Bengals falling short to the Los Angeles Chargers. This game should not have been nearly this close, but just like last week with the Lions and Texans in prime time, the Texans allowed the Lions to come back and beat them with coaching malpractice, a quarterback that looks lost at times, an offensive line that's shaky, and just routes that I don't really understand. So, getting back to the Bengals have probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Honestly, if the Bengals had the Ravens record, Joe Burrow would be talked about like Lamar Jackson. And I need y'all to know, especially throughout this episode in particular, how much I love Lamar Jackson and how much I think he is still a front runner for the MVP despite Sunday's performance and loss, but we'll get into that later. But Joe Burrow will be talked about. I think Joe Burrow is very overhyped, but this season he has proved to be better than, in my opinion, right now he's playing out of his mind. He's playing better than every quarterback short of Lamar Jackson. And here's the thing. The reason why I say I put him below, and honestly, because of how Josh Allen played too, and I'm not a big Josh Allen supporter per se, it goes Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen like tied right now for MVP in my opinion, right? But Joe Burrow, reason why I put him like maybe third right now actually, below Lamar and Josh Allen, is because in my opinion, yes, you can have those yards and the statistics, but coming back all the time is like it's almost like empty calories, especially if you lose. Because at the end of the day, you can be the most valuable player for your team, but the most valuable player in the league is a different story. Because that's really what the MVP is. Every team has a very valuable player, but not every team's valuable player is good enough. Because obviously, you wouldn't be 3-7 or whatever, right? Like you would have a good record. And Joe Burrow's yards really come, besides when he's playing the Ravens and their terrible defense, it usually comes in the second half of games. That's usually when it comes. It comes in the second half of games. And it comes when a team that's destroying them lets them off the hook. For like this last couple of weeks, that's what it's been. Even the going really went toe for toe with Jaden Daniels like early in the season. But then the day, and yes, the Commanders are a pretty good team, but they don't have enough chemistry like the Bengals should. The Bengals should be way better. Now, granted, they were without T. Higgins, and last night showed why T. Higgins should have gotten his money and respect before the season, and Jamar Chase continues to show why they should have just paid him because the price is up. For both of those receivers, the price is so much now that especially the Bengals owner, I can't see him paying the two of them. One of them's going, if not both are walking. Now, Jamar Chase may stay because I think that's obviously the choice you have to prioritize. And also, I think his relationship with Joe Burrow will keep him in Cincinnati for the remainder of his career as long as Joe Burrow is there. But the way they're playing, man, I don't know how it gets better because Zach Taylor got to go. Zach Taylor's going after this season. It's done. He had a good run. It's over for him. Offensive coordinator's got to go. Defensive coordinator, definitely. No one on this coaching staff deserves to be here next season. And I hate to call for people's jobs, but 3-7 with the obvious offensive talent you have, and somehow your defense it's just bad. Bengals fall short. Chargers, look, the league's going to regret the day they let that Harbaugh brother coach Justin Herbert. I think this is the best coach he's had, clearly, and also this is the correct coach to pair him with. Now, will it result in the Super Bowl? They need a lot more on offense, and they need to optimize their defense. What I mean by optimizing defense is there's a couple. They have a really young cornerback tandem, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to develop. The defense will go as far as those cornerbacks take them because those cornerbacks were working overtime against a really, on paper, high-powered Bengals offense, which you saw. Because second half of games, defenses get tired. And you saw what happened when you do one little mistake, one little misassignment, one possession game beat can destroy the whole thing. So The Chargers have a lot of young talent mixed with some vets. I really like what their defense is doing, but it needs to continue to be optimized, and they need to continue getting some pieces here and there to really establish that. Obviously, Khalil Mack wasn't playing last night either. Um, Joe, Justin Herbert, he has this thing where he falters in games he should be like he's winning. Like that's the thing. He's a quarterback where if he when he gets an early lead, sometimes I just don't like how he plays. He ends up winning the games most of the time, but I just don't like him in close games because it's just like every throw becomes harder. And yes, it could definitely be it's not could. It's definitely part of the defense just being better and honing in on some stuff. And they shouldn't have ran the ball as much, even though I'm a big component of running the ball to get the clock down. At the end of the day, you need first downs. You need yardage. If you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert and you trust him that much, that's why you give him all that money, you've got to let him close out the game. And the more experience he gets closing out the game, the less games like this will happen where you blow out a team before 9 p.m. when you're doing a Sunday night game, and they come back on you and they make it a game. And they make it a game where, honestly, if it wasn't for McPherson's going to be a huge problem. These AFC North kickers, man. But if it wasn't for McPherson like 2-3 times this season, the Bengals would have like 6-7 wins. I'm being quite frankly honest with you. So, yeah, Justin Herbert does this thing where he just becomes a shell of himself in close or late games, and it sucks because he does this. But I think with more experience and more trust, he will become better in these situations, and you'll have less situations like this. Now, going to the Chiefs game against the Bills, Mahomes has a problem. And I said this last week where I was like, the chemistry, it's fixable. The Chiefs' problems are fixable, but I'm starting to become a little concerned because Patrick Mahomes is looking lost. He's looking inaccurate. He's making terrible decisions. And I hate to say it, maybe I'm jumping the gun. Chiefs fans are going to hate what I'm about to say. But I think all of the earlier part of his career where they let him get away with the bullshit he was doing, like all these, like just the things that make him Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I understand that. And with players like that, you're going to get head scratching plays. But the problem when you don't fix or you don't limit or rein it in sometimes is that later in his career, where he's maybe not performing at the level he should, those plays that you let him run wild become a issue, and it's starting to become an issue. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a guy who likes to improvise, but his improvisation is turning into turnovers, and you can't do that against the Bills, against the Ravens, the Ravens will beat themselves, so maybe the Ravens you can get away with because he got away with a stinker in week 1, but you can't do that against a team that is playing all around very sound football. And at the end of the day, it's championship or bust for this team. So it doesn't matter what you do against the Denver or you get against Raiders and stuff. No, it matters what you do against teams you're going to see in a deep playoff push this year. Whatever year it is, you're going to, especially the AFC, because how stacked it is, you're going to face your playoff rivals throughout the season. And you can't do this because these things you accept in the wins or losses, they're going to show. At this point, this is the team you're going to see in the playoffs. And I know Mahomes, rightfully so, deserves so much cachet right now. Like, he can do no wrong and right? I understand. Right now, his mistakes are costing the Chiefs because he's playing mediocre football. And no one's calling him out on it because he's Patrick Mahomes. Like, Patrick Mahomes is, look at what he did. Look at all these Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, that doesn't mean shit this season. Super Bowl MVPs of the past do not get you wins right now. Teams are not fearing the Chiefs. The defense, maybe. But if you have a player like Josh Allen who doesn't give a fuck, I'm sorry to use language, he doesn't give a fuck about Chris Jones. No. He's like, yo, I'm gonna run down y'all's throat. I'm going to score with the game on the line. I'm going to score because I don't fear anyone on that sideline. I don't care if I throw an interception. I don't care if someone for. I don't care if incomplete. No, when it comes to the last possession, I'm going to become Superman. I'm going to win this game. And that's the killer intent that I think Lamar Jackson still needs to unlock, because when I saw him play the Steelers on Sunday, there's many times where he could have went off and ran, and there's a lot of Lamar, like he needs to mix the old and new Lamar Jackson, become basically damn near the perfect quarterback we'll ever see in probably in our lifetimes, right? But Josh Allen has that. He just has a turnover problem, but he's been doing a lot better this season, so y'all better watch out. Well, Josh Allen, you hear me? Y'all better watch out. And right now, performance like that, where his record is, where his team's at, he's looking MVP caliber right now. Lamar, you better step it up. Lamar better take that personal, because right now, the Ravens going to go as this season is one of those seasons, the Ravens is going to go as far as Lamar Jackson going to take them. Last season, it was a defense. This season is Lamar Jackson. Lamar has to go do it. He just has to. And when he doesn't, you see what happens. So Lamar needs to have that dog. He needs to, whatever he needs to do to get himself to that next level that we need him to get to in order to finish the season. They need him to get to finish the season. Like, he needs to do that. He needs to be like, yo, fuck it, I'm running. Or, I'm throwing, or whatever. But, like, some of those things where he's, like, running and looking. No, take off. You're the fastest and most athletic person on the field. No one's touching you. Take off. Make the defense honest. Josh Allen did that last night. Yesterday afternoon, evening. He was like, I'm going to make you honest. You're going to have to protect me against the run. Even if you do, I'm too big and strong, bro. It's going to take 2-3 of your guys. So, look. Mahomes and the Chiefs have a problem. And yes, they're 9-1. The ceiling's not falling down in Kansas City. It is very fixable. My thing is, like I keep telling people, you accept this bullshit now. The bullshit when every possession matters, the possessions are limited, and you have teams who are finite, ready to go, or a team that's on a hot streak, they're going to come back to this tape, and they're going to be like, this is what we have to do to beat Patrick. At first, it was like, do this and that. Now Patrick Mahomes is beating himself. So we can just do what can beat Patrick Mahomes and let him beat himself. We have an opportunity to win. So the Chiefs need to rally and be like, again, it's just one loss. But the mentality being like, oh, it's just one loss. Well, that'll get you home in January. So that's just me. The Bears are cursed. The Bears are cursed. Chicago, I'm sorry, you're cursed. There's nothing I can do for you. You're cursed. They lost on a blocked field goal. This is the second blocked field goal in the NFL and back-to-back. Listen, you have to. I hate doing this, but y'all making me do this. The Bears have to fire their head coach. They have to fire everybody. Fire the owner. I don't care. Fire everybody, man. I know you can't fire the owner, but you know what I mean. Like, what are we doing? And not just because of the we all saw it, man. Tom Brady was being too nice. We all saw it. Run another play. Get closer. You know nothing is guaranteed. You see this league and all the kickers of what's going on, man. Like, get closer. You ruined what was going to be a great momentum boost for your team and for your quarterback. And who knows, you could have went on an amazing run and made some wild card race. And even if it wouldn't have amounted to anything, it would have gave your team a lot of hope. Wouldn't have saved the head coach's job, but it would have given the team a future. And they blew it. They freaking blew it. And Caleb Williams playing out of his mind that last drive. He tried everything to will them. And it just sucks that, again, after everything going wrong, but a couple of things going right and putting yourself in a position to win a game, to walk off and win, the Bears are cursed. Even the post-game interview, like, it's just stuff where it's like, it's not even that. I know a lot of people are going to say that he doesn't have accountability, and he doesn't. But it's to the point where you can see the tiredness. You can see the I don't know what else to do. You can see that I'm getting fired, so fuck it anyway. And that's not a person that should be in that building. Because that's what Dennis Allen gave me that energy. Is someone who's just like, I'm not built for this. I know I'm probably have like a year or two or whatever. Like at the time where last season, I'm talking to Dennis Allen, was like, F it, whatever. And then this season, Dennis Allen was like, yeah, I'm not going to survive after the season's over. After those two losses, after the 2 wins or that big win against the Cowboys, I know that boy thought he's like, oh, I'm going to get extended. This is my home. Like, and then the losses, and then Derek Carr, and then Cam Jordan happened, and then the tweets, and then Michael Thomas, and then he was like, fuck it. And then you can't have that energy be in the building because the guys will not respect you for it. And there's zero chance that anyone in that Bears organization trusts or respects anybody in that building right now that isn't like a regular worker. If you're like a regular employee, like, we love you, whatever, whatever. I'm talking about you're responsible for what we do on Sundays and Mondays and sometimes Thursdays and whatever. Like, you on notice because we can't be losing like this. To lose in a Hail Mary and losing a block field goal in must-have games and games where you grinded it out and you're doing it like this, like every statement game that could have boosted Caleb Williams' confidence and really instilled something new, they lose in the most heartbreaking way. And it's to the point where we're going to see what kind of person and quarterback Caleb Williams is because this season's over. You just need to continue playing well, show them you're not a bust, and get ready for a new offense. Get ready to learn a new offense because these people are going. This is horrendous. They are cursed, man. That Lovie Smith curse is real. Going to college football, Colorado on fire. Actually, no. Before we get to college football, I want to talk about the Lions. Sorry, I'm my bad. Detroit, you have yourself a squad. I am thoroughly impressed with what Detroit Lions are doing right now. They destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have a bunch of blowout games this season, which is good because it means they can score and also stop teams. And also, if they score points, you are not coming back and winning the game. They're not even going to make it a close game. They're going to destroy you. Get ready for the next week, basically. The Detroit Lions, in my opinion, the best team in the NFL. But, Lion fans, don't kill me. My only issue with the Detroit Lions right now is their injuries. And it's not just little injuries like, oh, we'll see you later, or we'll see you in the No, we'll see you next season, buddy. We'll see you next season, buddy. And not even the beginning of next season. Like, we'll see you halfway through next season, buddy. Some of these injuries, man. I think they had a player snap his arm or something. I could be wrong. I need to check it. Some injury happened. I couldn't see the game yesterday. I only saw highlights. But something happened. And also, obviously, their defense, Aiden Hutchinson's obviously out with that gruesome leg injury. And I just need them to get through blowouts or get through their wins without losing key players, man. Because you do not want to do all this work and then go into the playoffs limping. That's not what you want to do. The NFC is not the most stacked, but there are ballers in the NFC that if you give, that have been to the playoffs many times, and they will take advantage of this. You need all the help you can get. You need all the star players. I just want them to stay healthy. If the Lions can just stop sustaining like really bad injuries, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I say this because from what I've seen, Dan Campbell has really reeled in the bullshit he was doing last season that, to me, in my opinion, cost them a Super Bowl appearance. In my opinion, Dan Campbell was a major, not the only factor, but a major factor in obviously why they got a deep playoff push, but why they end up losing. Because they really had if you go back and watch the last year's playoffs, Detroit Lions were clearly the best team in sports other than the Ravens. Because the Ravens beat the shit out of the Lions, I'm pretty sure, last year. I'm pretty sure they did. But either way, the Ravens, I think, beat every team that was like the final four teams. I'm pretty sure the Ravens were probably like 5-6 teams in the playoffs last year. I think the Ravens played all of them and beat them. So, badly, because they destroyed the 49ers. They made the 49ers look like a JV team last season. And exposed them for what the 49ers are this season. But yeah, going back to the Lions. Greatest team in the NFL right now. But those injuries need to stop. And I know they're injuries, they just happen. It's unfortunate. So there's not like really anything to do about it, but it's just like, I don't know, when you're blowing people out, maybe you gotta take your guys out or something. I don't know. Because the blowouts are nice, but at the expense of your key players, it's not. So at some point, maybe you need to like take some of them out, lessen the position. I don't know, but you gotta do something, because if you lose Goff or either your running backs or St. Brown, like some of these, if you start losing these pieces is going to become a problem. These injuries are going to cost the Lions a Super Bowl run. And it sucks because I really like what they're playing. They're playing real complementary football. Goff is playing very, I mean, perfect, really. Really. Outside of that horrendous, like, last week game, he's playing really well. Not enough to put him in the MVP discussion. I think the level of play that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and I know despite the record, Joe Burrow is playing out of his mind. Let's be honest. But out of those three guys, I don't put Goff there. But yeah, man, they're playing great football, and I'm picking a Lions Ravens Super Bowl. That's my prediction. I'm picking a Lions Ravens Super Bowl with the Ravens winning. The reason why I say that is because I like Lamar Jackson's matchup against anybody in the NFC, especially the Lions. And that's not saying the Lions don't have a great defense. The Ravens have a very shitty defense, and so you maybe think it's going to be an offensive shootout. But as we've seen, the Ravens' defense is starting to find something. Because they lost on Sunday, but they lost to only field goals. And yeah, the Steelers don't have the best offensive NFL football, but the Ravens have like a really shitty defense. Or at least it was looking that way. I mean, look how many points and touchdowns being scored on that defense. Almost like I could walk out there and score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It was really bad. But I do like the Lions against anybody else. Would I be surprised if it was a Ravens Lions Super Bowl and they won? Would I be surprised if the Lions won? I would not be surprised, and that would be really cool for Detroit. And I'm still hoping for y'all to make the playoffs and win it. Like at this point, I don't care. My favorite team's already out, so I'm just happy to see what's happening. Good for y'all. Going to college football. Colorado. Control their own destiny. Take care of business and beat Utah. Shiloh Sanders really late is closing these games out. The team might know. Shiloh Sanders like, hey, enough of this. I'm giving you what's it called, headache gang. I'm getting y'all out of here. Really like how Shiloh Sanders is playing. He's playing way better than he was playing like ending last season, and then like in parts of this season. Obviously, he sustained an injury, so I'm happy he was able to come back. This obviously going to be his last year. And so I know it means a lot to him to be able to play, so I'm happy he's able to do that. And Colorado's in really great position to go to not only a bowl game, not only to the Big 12 championship, but they have a chance to go to the college football championship. Now, that's a huge stretch, and a lot of things have to go right, but they control their own destiny, which is all you can ask for. Because they have to rely on this person losing. Now they already had to do that, but now they control their own destiny and they're winning. That's all. Now going undefeated for the rest of the season is tough, especially that red hot Kansas team. Like that's gonna be a grind out battle. They can't do what how they started Utah. You need to start playing great football. You cannot give Kansas a chance to feel confident facing you, because right now they beat an undefeated BYU team. They don't give a flip what's going on. They don't care. They're like, yo, we have an opportunity to ruin everybody's day. And ASU is playing out of their mind. I think Iowa State's playing well. Like, there are teams that are like, hey, Colorado, you lose, we in. Hey, you lose, we hey, man. Like, don't sleep. You're not the only 8-2 team. Like, we right on that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, ASU's playing damn good football. So, we're going to see. BYU, don't you dare lose 2 straight. Don't you dare lose 2 straight. Hey, man. Don't you dare lose 2 straight. And some of these other teams went, nah, don't do it. BYU. Don't you dare lose 2 more games. So, we'll see what happens, man. But Colorado, I mean, Deion Sanders has put together a program. Now, what is this team going to look like next year without, like, a lot of their leadership here? Like, it's going to be a completely new team next season. But right now, Travis Hunter is the best player in college football. And it's not close. And I hate this argument, because this is an argument that's happening. Genty and some of the other players, like, Travis not even the best corner receiver in. All right. Here's the thing. He's playing 2 positions at the same, not the same time. He's playing 2 positions in the same game. Not only that, he's being effective. He's getting his yards. He's getting some touchdowns. He's getting some interceptions. He's getting it, bro. Like, he's getting pass breakups. There's games where they don't even throw to this man's side sometimes because you know what I'm saying, they know what it is. Like, what are we doing, man? He's taking hits, still stay like it. Yes, a lot of people are like, oh, snaps played shouldn't be a stat that gets. Yes, it should be. Why would it not be? He's clearly, like, literally, okay, yeah, for a player playing one position, okay, he's playing two. He played 130 snaps. The only time he got off the field was when the game was done. It was done. Other than that, he played every single snap. And the plays he was making were high level, high IQ plays for someone who played every snap. That's not normal. Stop normalizing. That is normal to play every snap, bruh. Some of y'all can't even walk upstairs without being exhausted. And you're telling me that playing a whole game, like truly playing a whole game, isn't tiring, but somehow he's still effective. He's still engaged. There's no routes where he's taking off because there is, especially on defense, they'll take advantage of that very quickly. So that means he's not breaking there. On offense, he's getting thrown the ball. He's getting open. He's doing something. That little reverse route where he's probably supposed to throw it to Shador, he sees that's not going. Runs, cuts it back infield, and then cuts upfield for the touchdown. Like that hit he took where he just jump ball, mossed it, took the hit, and give him the LeBron, I'm tough, I'm built different celebration. Like, what are we doing, bro? Colorado is rocking. I love seeing it. Every game is must-watch TV. I'm pretty sure almost every single one of their games have been on national television. It's Colorado will die on this one. So, yo, Dion, shout out to you. Travis Hunter's the best college football player. He is not. Jenny's doing something. Like, I've seen amazing running backs. There's Reggie Bush. There's so many but true both sides of the ball player, true two-way players in football does not happen. Dion and Charles Woodson, like they played occasionally at packages, 130 plus snaps. What are we talking about? It's not close, guys. Come on, stop it, man. Because if carries are going to be part of a running back stat, why can't snaps played be a part of Travis Hunter's snap? Because it's a key factor into what makes him such a great player. Is a key factor. No one in college football is playing 100 and something. Come on, 130 something snaps? You could, because that means, you know what that means, right? It means it's combined the stats of the offense on his team and the offense on the other team. They had to count both teams' possessions into his statistics. That's crazy as hell. Like, that's crazy as hell, bro. Shout out to Travis Hunter. Let's go to the NBA and close this episode out. Cavs remain undefeated. I mean, Cleveland. Doing amazing basketball right now. Donovan Mitchell's playing out of his mind. I mean, it was only a matter of time, and the league done messed up and let Evan Mobley start to find himself. Darius Garland start to love basketball again. Yeah, it's getting cracking up there in Cleveland. So congrats to Cleveland. Warriors, top of the West. I did not see that coming. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw their offseason acquisitions, and I was like everybody else, this isn't a championship team. I still have my doubts because 10-2 is nice. But there are for the last couple of years, there's going to be a time where Steph's going to miss some time. I'm not wishing for it. I love watching Steph Curry. The league needs Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of my favorite players of all time. He's up there. He's working on being number one at this point, especially after the Olympics. Steph Curry's going to miss some time. That's just because of age and because of how he plays basketball. He's going to miss some time. Also, even if he doesn't miss, even as miraculous he doesn't miss time, it's going to come down to those non-Curry minutes. Can the bench maintain? Because they're one of the best. They're like the best bench in basketball. Can their egos and the health and the scoring, can they maintain all of that and still stay as one of the best benches and win those non-Curry minutes. Because those non-Curry minutes is what killed them in the past, especially last season. Last season, they could not play without Curry. Like, it was not happening. Even with Curry, they were struggling. Without Curry, it was not happening. So their bench is playing out of their mind, and they need to maintain that, and they need to start getting better and better. I still don't think the Warriors have played their best basketball, which means that's scary. That's incredibly scary. Can Draymond stay out of trouble? Can he stay healthy? And can he stay without getting like missing games because of his attitude? If he can do those two things and Curry can stay as healthy as possible and their bench can maintain, this team is going to have a very deep run. A very deep run. I still wish they had legitimate big. I really wish, because they're going to run into like the Lakers or Denver team where that length is going to kill them, meaning Jokic or AD. And I don't know. The Warriors in the past, their scoring will be able to keep up with that deficiency. Now, I'm not too sure. And also, it really depends on Andrew Wiggins. If Andrew Wiggins can stay healthy and get better, I need Andrew Wiggins to keep revving it up. They're going they're going to be really hard to stop, and they're getting great contributions from players like Steve Kerr looks reinvigorated. Steph Curry looks reinvigorated. It looks amazing. Cavs Warriors finals in 2025, technically. Okay. I wouldn't have seen that coming. Celtics Warriors rematch. I can see that. Cavs right now look like the best team in basketball. I'm really liking how they're playing. It's really fun to watch Cavalier games again. That's cool. Because in the playoffs, I saw a lot of deficiencies. I don't see that this season. Kenny Atkinson, I believe, is the coach. I believe he came from the Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. He's playing good. Or he's coaching really well. Bronny motivating LeBron. I think Bronny James is motivating LeBron James. And this will be the last subject, by the way. I think Bronny James is motivating LeBron to play really, really, really good basketball. I think the Olympics inspired LeBron. I think winning again, because they won gold, inspired LeBron. I think seeing his son watch him win something, which was the Olympics, was a really great motivator. And then seeing his son get drafted to his team and seeing his son on the sideline, them sharing like handshakes, his son doing the silencer that LeBron brought out, because I think he's tired of the night, and LeBron wants that good marketing back. You know what I'm saying? Because the triple doubles are cool, but he doesn't have he's doing like the too tough, which is cool, but it's not the silencer. It's not the night. Like, he needs that. So he brought the silencer back out, which was just fucking hilarious. It was really cool to see. But that just goes to show, like, he really cares about basketball. Like, he never stopped caring about. I think it got to the point where he was like, injuries starting to pile up, and like, I can only be GOAT James in spurts, not like all season or even half a season anymore. And the team I have is just not built. Like, I have to be excellent, and it's really starting to tire me out, and it's getting me more irritated. I'm making more turnovers. Like, dude, he's like 40 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? But something about seeing Bronny on the sideline is making this dude go like, I need to ball out for him. I need to show my son in person, close up, while my squad, who the fuck I am. Not only that, winning a championship with my son would be like, what? What? That would be in the history books. That image will be in the history books. The U.S. textbooks. It will be LeBron James hoisting up the Lombardi. I said Lombardi. The Larry O'Brien trophy with Bronny James would be really cool. So I think it's important that Bronny, I know the South Bay Lakers thing is really weird. It's really weird. And it's going to stunt and hurt Bronny's growth. But right now, it's important. This helicopter is crazy. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear this. This helicopter is crazy. It sounds like they're hovering just over my house. Bronny James is playing out. Not Bronny James. LeBron's playing out his mind. There's triple doubles at age 40. The complete control and demand the game. At any time he wants to, he can turn into the best player on the court, no matter who they're facing. Like, he's just playing really, really well. And I think, just like how Giannis has Thanasis on the bench, and you see, you go to the story with Jeff Teague, what Jeff Teague said, and you can just see it. When Thanasis is not there, like, Giannis is playing to show himself. Giannis is fucking hooping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's stuff where it's like, especially earlier in Giannis' career, and I think later, now flipping it to later in LeBron's career, it's just really nice to see his family more out of his games, and just because obviously Bronny's not in school anymore. He's in the league, and you get to see him when he goes to work. They get to like work on his game. He just gets to really be a mentor to his son. AD is playing amazing basketball, like, and all that stuff. All that stuff. We're seeing a level of grit to AD. Like, I swear to God, I feel like the Olympics really lit a fire on these dudes of like, yo, this is what it feels like to win again. And AD loves Bronny, man. AD's like Bronny's big brother at this point. Like, AD really likes Bronny. I think they're both hooping for Bronny a little bit, and for the fact of like, yeah, the Olympics, we want to go. I want to win another gold, which is the NBA title. So they're hooping. I like it. So I'm seeing the NBA. I'm really excited. This season it's not disappointing. I honestly really like the games. The Celtics are playing really well basketball, but right now they have a really good Cleveland Cavaliers team that literally has not lost a game. They're doing some old school Warrior shit right now, and I'm liking what I'm saying. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. If I didn't talk about your team, let me know what storylines from your team this week that you really liked. What are some things that you agree or don't disagree, or you disagree with what I said so far? Let me know. See y'all next one. Peace.